Morning Pillaging Show. This for Raiders. Oh, for the nation, Jasin. Oh, pillaging just for Sunday. Oh, me and Chris, we don't miss. Oh, me and Chris don't miss. Oh, me and Chris don't miss. When it comes to this Raider classic, we don't miss. Raider Nation, we don't miss. We don't miss.
No,
What's
we
up?
don't.
What's going on, y'all?
Good morning, post happy July 4th or post. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. How about you, Jason?
I did, man. Shout out to 4Extras. Man, lost his hand over this July 4th, so just praying he heals up and everything works out with him.
Well, I guess I wasn't worse off because I was sick for yesterday. That's why I didn't make the show last night, but feel a little better today. Got that Pepto-Bismol in me. But it wasn't my cooking that did it. It was something else.
So, man, well, glad you're feeling better. Glad you're back. Nation, we got a show for you today. We talk our most heated rivalry with a fellow content creator. Chiefs fan reacts. If you know him by Chief High Smoke, if you've seen his stuff in the past, definitely got good content. He streams games, has good takes. Not a Raider hater, but appreciator of the game and the rivalry. Very good takes, very fair takes, very open-minded takes. So I appreciate that. Let's definitely welcome him to the show, man. Show some love.
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you for having me. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July. My first time actually being on a show with you guys. I appreciate you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Definitely glad to have you on the show. We are going to talk Chiefs Raiders today, which has been, for you guys, definitely been probably a good conversation, but for us, it hasn't been, the most positive vibes around.
Yeah, for me, it's the last 10, 15 years, or about 10 years, looking at the Raiders, it's been 2 dubs on the schedule every single year. But this year, it feels different in my opinion. And I think you guys have us figured out in Arrowhead. But we were talking before the show had started. It's can the Raiders win at home versus the Chiefs? Really, Mahomes hasn't lost. He never lost in Oakland. He hasn't lost in Las Vegas, and that's the question. Hopefully, Pete Carroll can bring that type of home field advantage, that new head coaching style.
Yeah, because the Raiders have really beat anybody too much with their new home in Vegas.
Okay.
In Oakland, it's a different story. In Oakland, the Chiefs. Of course, the other 2 teams, I'm not going to say anything because they're not important right now. It's just about the Chiefs and Raiders talk. We always go back and forth with you guys. Always went back and forth. Every game was close. Sometimes it came down to a field goal, but lately, the last 2 games were, and the one we beat you guys at Christmas was great. But lately, we've been getting took to the back of the barn and whipped by the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and it wasn't pretty.
Well, yeah, I mean the games in Vegas, they are getting closer, and the games in Arrowhead are getting closer. I feel like now you're not seeing the blowouts now. Rather than remember when you guys had came and stomped on the logo that game, and then that ended up being a blowout. But now the games are much closer. I feel like now the quarterback play from the Raiders is this is the best quarterback that you've had since Rich Gannon. I truly believe that over Derek Carr. And now throwing the Band-Aid over the situation, it's kind of stitched up now. and you're really seeing, okay, this is the Raiders quarterback in 10 games is really possible. 10 wins is really possible, in my opinion.
Mhm. Well, that's why have them going 10-7. I mean, I expect them to win at least 8, but I see 10.
I do. I do see 10 wins too as well. And that's because of the quarterback play. There's a running back too as well. I mean, now with Zeus last year, you guys were averaging like 2.5
Oh, wait,
yards.
wait, whoa. I'm gonna stop there, Chief. I'm glad you don't bash the Raiders, but here in the Raider Nation, we no longer call him Zeus because he doesn't play like a god to me.
Okay.
Zamir.
Okay, no problem. I just went with his nickname, Zamir White. He was like 2.5 yards per carry. And I
Yeah.
think with Genty, you're going up to like 4.7, 4.8 yards per carry at least, right? So I think that's going to help out. And how the Raiders are going to beat teams is long drives and keeping the best player off the field and pass pressure too. They were able to get Malcolm Kuntz back. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that, but they did. Um, the weakness for me is the back end of their defense. Um, their cornerbacks and safeties. I think that's how you're going to be able to attack them.
Mm. That's crazy because you see the same holes that we kind of see ourselves. So
Yeah.
that's something. Hopefully,
Have you guys have you guys heard anything about Jacorian Bennett? Is he back to 100% healthy?
No.
He's
He's
not.
still he's not 100% yet. He's still playing with the second team, so he's still nursing his health.
So you're going
But
to be
we'll
possibly
see.
starting a rookie at that left cornerback position, Darian Porter, the third
Yeah.
rounder from Iowa State.
Yeah. Well, the sub they got now predicted. This, of course, it never finalized till the first game of the season, but they have
Yeah.
Darian Gordon and Eric Stokes starting as cornerbacks for now
Okay.
until either Benny gets back healthy or he can prove himself because with Pete Carroll's defense, he likes those big, long, linky cornerbacks, and
Yeah.
and
And that's yeah, I agree. And that's the one thing about Pete Carroll though, is his strength is being able to take defensive backs and make them better, right? That's what he did in Seattle, right? With the Legion of Boom,
mhm.
taking like guys like Richard Sherman, like fourth round picks, and turning those guys into elite players. So I think that's his strong suit. So even though that's a weak point for the Raiders, that could get better during training camp in the season.
Chief, do you think is that why they're not making that move for a DB? Because like a lot of us are asking for like one more veteran or just something in the DB room to kind of give us a little bit more confidence. But do you think that's what it is? Pete thinks he can mold the guys that he has right here.
I think he's stubborn in that way. He's like, we don't need him. We don't need a guy like that. And it possibly could be, Ramsey being traded everywhere he's been. I mean, is he? He's a great cornerback, but what's he like in the locker room? We don't know. So maybe Pete Carroll wants to just bring in different guys, rather than Ramsey could help for sure, but maybe Pete Carroll just sees what Ramsey's done and as we don't want that around in our locker room. That's what I'm assuming, and he's also thinking I'm good with the guys I have.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like the AFC definitely got better defensively too, because with Baltimore getting having Wiggins and then getting Jair Alexander, and then with Pittsburgh, up in theirs with what you call it with Minka and Jalen is crazy with that
Yeah,
whole.
yeah, and it could be too that you guys are, um, not looking to go with a veteran guy like that. Maybe you guys want to go with younger guys in that position. And Jair Alexander's has been hurt a lot too, as well.
Yeah.
So, and Pete, you don't know how long he's got. Maybe with how long the leash is. He signed that deal, but Maybe he's only got 2 years, so or 3 years. So he wants to go with guys he's confident in that he can get that can get the Raiders to the playoffs and win them a game.
Is
Yeah.
this the is oh sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, is this the best rivalry in the AFC West, or has it cooled off?
It's cooled off. It's more so now the Raiders and Denver as the
Mm.
best rivalry and I think and that's just because of you kind of go into playing the Chiefs going, you kind of beat yourself already. I think it was Muhammad Ali had a quote like you beat yourself like already before the match has even started when you fight someone like me, and I think that's what teams are, but the Chiefs are vulnerable right now. People smell blood in the water when they play them, and they've gotten every team's best shot, and they will still continue to get every team's best shot, even though they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because we're looking at when they played the Eagles Super Bowl. We, like I said, we watched those games, and their defense was pretty good at holding Mahomes down to not a great game, but he had his fair shot, and
Yeah,
that defense kind of shut him down. The Eagles, if you noticed that, they did exactly the same thing we did. They say, you
yeah.
know what, the Arizona's beat them. Let's do what they did by push up the middle, and everything else.
Well,
So
what Jasin and Crosby did, Chris, and it's a good point that you've made, is they over pursued. And when you over pursue Pat, then he can't roll out to his right away. So he's got to kind of step up a little bit. And if you got a good defensive tackle that can get good push up front, then he's got to like make another move. He can't step up and go. So I think that's what the Raiders did with Chizon and Crosby in that second game, and then what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. I mean, at any inch the Chiefs got was impossible. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster got a first down on the second play of the game, and it took a while for them to get a first down after that. Yeah, that was tough to watch. I'm sure how you guys
not for
enjoyed
us,
that.
it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I felt like the world won a Super Bowl, Chris and Jason. Um, and I get it. Like you're just tired of seeing the same thing happening over and over again. So I
It
kind
was
of
like
get
that. It was like that with the Patriots. It was the same thing with the Patriots, and they won so many. Like you're tired of the same team, so it's going to happen.
yeah,
People gonna get tired. Somebody else beat them. Please beat them. They're gonna have to every team that wins multiple. One, fine. Two, okay. But when you start going every year, people gonna get tired of that. I want to see somebody different.
that game
So
humbled
that's
me.
exactly what it was.
I mean, I started changing my content after that. Like that's how much that game really, really humbled me. Like coming into the season, that was everything what this whole season was about was the three-peat. And when that didn't happen, a change definitely needed to be made.
what do you guys think you're missing to kind of get you guys, really over the top? You guys are already a talented team, but what do you think is the weakness?
A left tackle,
Mm.
left and right tackle.
Didn't you
Um,
draft one 2 years ago? Is he not working out for you?
yeah, Kingsley Sua Matae in the second round out of BYU. He's actually Penul Sewell's cousin.
Mm.
They started him in the first game against Baltimore last season. He played pretty well, but then really got exposed against Trey Hendrickson. And the third game, they ended up taking him out, and now they've moved him to left guard. So they're trying him out there. But they drafted Josh Simmons out of Ohio State this year. I'm not sure he's going to be ready to play from his injury last year in college. I'm not sure he's going to be ready to go week one. So it's going to be Jalen Moore, the free agent they signed from the 49ers, basically a backup left tackle to Trent Williams. And they're banking on, this guy, Trent Williams, is going to rub off on Jalen Moore. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him, but I do think Patrick is still going to be running for his life most of the 2025 season.
and that's where we want him. Run for his life. No, nothing against the Chiefs, but of course, something against the Chiefs. Quick question, I'm asking about this. So you know who our starting quarterback was last year?
Yep.
Didn't you? How you feel about you guys signing him? Is he second string or third string? I know you
He's
signed
second.
another quarterback after that.
Probably eighth.
He's second string. This guy's always been a clipboard Jesus. You know, I mean,
Clipboard.
he like he's a guy that if he doesn't know he's playing, like he'll come into a game and if he's not thinking, like he plays pretty well, but if he's got to like go into the week and he knows he's the guy, I kind of notice he struggles a little bit. So I think being second string is good for him. I think he should never ever be a starting quarterback in the league ever again. But yeah, I think the Chiefs see because there's been times where the Chiefs have Mahomes has went out in the playoffs and they've had to bring guys like Chad Henne, Matt Moore in,
Yeah.
Nick Foles even has came in and back up. So Andy kind of knows guys to go with. So Gardner Minshew, I think it's an okay, cheaper option.
Well, because a lot of fans they say, "Oh, Garmin's gonna go tell the Raiders secrets." I said, "Well, we're 4-13, so there ain't too many secrets out there he can tell. So it's not like we won a lot of games. If we were 13-4, maybe, but 4-13, yeah, he's nothing to tell. We
I'm
pretty
sure
much.
a lot of things going to be changing in the play calls with this
Oh yeah,
Chip Kelly, and nothing's probably going to be the same as it was in 2024. But yeah,
no,
that does happen. An example I can give you, Chris, is Mecole Hardman. We ended up getting this guy from the Jets, and he ended up giving us some information on the Jets when we played him. But he was a Jet, so and it came out that he was giving us information. We didn't end up getting in trouble for it, but that does happen a lot.
inside information. There's no NDA, so he can go say what he want to say. But yeah,
Definitely.
Can I ask you guys each like everybody and even the chat too, the biggest villain in the rivalry between KC and the Raiders?
I'll go Max Crosby.
Okay. Max Crosby. Like for you guys, it sucks that there's so many because I was gonna say, I'm gonna take it back to like when I was growing up. I remember Tony Gonzalez used to be that was automatic 2 touchdowns, easy. You know what I mean? Like it
Oh,
was always
you're saying all time as
yeah,
like all time probably the
yeah. Well, just kind of like in your opinion of like watching ball, like who, whenever the Raiders came, who was the player that always kind of was a problem?
Tim Brown.
Mm.
Yeah, that like all time. Now it'd be Max Crosby, but like for me, like growing up and going through life, Tim Brown for sure.
Mm.
yeah,
That
mine
was
will.
that was the guy that would keep me up at night. Like Dad, we gotta like I don't know how we're going. He's going in motion. Tim Brown's going in motion. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just is that guy a tight end or a wide receiver? And I'm like, no, he's a wide receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine from the Chiefs would be actually it's 3 guys, but no order. I mean, because the 3 was Gonzalez, the tight end, Kelsey, the tight end, and Christian Okoye, the running back. I hate those guys with a passion. Never can stop neither one of those 3 guys. Never. No matter how much game plan we did, they always managed to beat us.
Yeah. Gonzalez, he was our only option. But Kelsey would have annoyed me if I was another team watching Kelsey play. That would be annoying, especially on third down. He's a third down killer.
Yeah, I
But
gotta
now we
get.
got to see Bowers, so it's karma.
Ooh,
So payback.
hopefully he does to you guys what Kelsey has done for us or done to us for the last
What's it done
Trust
for
me,
us? Done
he
to us.
will. From what I've seen from Brock Bowers, um, the sky's the limit for him. Like we're talking Kelsey and Mahomes, who after that first season that I saw, like his ability to catch the ball and get upfield for a tight end is something that I've never been able to see to get the full speed like that. he's just a nightmare. And now that the Raiders have Genty, and he's just going to get better.
Yeah,
Well,
this running. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
No, the key to all that, I know Mr. Running Game, I was gonna say it, but I'm gonna say something different. The key to that is that, like you talked before we started the show, that we have a quarterback. And you might talk about the beginning. We have a quarterback who can actually get these guys the ball.
Yep.
Do you think that your cornerbacks and safety can cover as many weapons we have now? Because some people say we need more weapons. I think we got a lot of weapons. We got a guy at 6'5" who can run 4.3. You got Bowers. Don't think about Michael Mayer. He's also good. Then we got Jacob, Mr. Clutch. Then we got Trey Tucker who can like open the field up. Do Chiefs? Do you think the Chiefs have enough coverage in the backfield to cover those guys and also stop the running game?
Um,
Because the
I
defense was
I
good
do
last year. I
think
see that. Do it.
I do think that the Chiefs have enough to stop your wide receivers with the cornerbacks that they have, but running game is definitely another story. They've always struggled against the run. That's really the way to beat them is to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. I think your offensive line is the tackles are better than ours. I'm not sure about the inside, the guards, but yeah, I think that the way to beat us is on the ground and with Genty, and you also have Mosher too as well that you can bring in on third down.
Mm.
Who do you think was the most important piece that we brought in that's going to really set us over the top?
The most important piece. I say re-signing Max Crosby, um, bringing bringing Ashton Genty and getting the quarterback. That it's really changed. Um, it's really a whole new look, and because of the quarterback situation, um, Geno Smith being there, I just feel like the Raiders are in better hands than in previous years, right? With Gardner Minshew before that, Aiden O'Connell. I just feel like Geno Smith is a professional quarterback. Like this guy's got the experience. He's been in the league. And he's got the better offensive line now. That was the story in Seattle. He was getting sacked too many times. This
Mm.
offensive line is a lot better than Seattle's last year. So if you give him time, yeah, and the 4 wins to 10 wins is very possible.
Yeah, because I think their Seattle's offensive line was ranked 28th in the league, and the Raiders' offensive line wasn't that good, but it wasn't that low. They were thinking, look, I think it was 19th. So it
Yeah,
is better, and then plus we got different guards. There's so many things we got to work out, but he should do better. And he still, like you said, he had with the 20th ranked offensive line. He still won 10 games.
yeah. There could also be a point in time where you could see Caleb Rogers, a third round pick, play at guard. I think they want to get some competition there. Alex Kappa. Um, so that could be possible, but I think Jackson Powers Johnson's a star. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
This guy is
he's gonna be a Raiders center man for his whole career, and they probably well, they weren't retired jerseys, but he's gonna
yeah.
be in the Raiders Hall of Fame.
I love yeah, I like his style. He kind of pushes people around and smash mouth type of a player. You know, Raider type of player, right? Kind of plays after the whistle a little bit nasty. Um, but yeah, if you ask my opinion, I think the Raiders' offensive line is better than the Chiefs.
Well, it was that game last year against the Cleveland Browns in Vegas that the referees that go to sideline and tell the coach, "Hey, can you tell your guy to stop playing so rough?" I never heard that before in professional football. Child play, well, it's a contact game. We supposed to play rough. This is not badminton or croquet.
There's a lot of stuff I've seen in Raider games I've never seen before. Remember the index card?
Oh yeah, they have to
Yeah,
end this card. Yeah,
do we?
Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
that. Stop playing so hard. Stop hitting each other. Like, what most
Yeah, I
kids?
mean, yeah, it's the league has gotten a little bit watered down now with these hits to the quarterback, and I feel like Mahomes is kind of perfected how to get this personal foul call out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
He
So
watches
You watch
LeBron
LeBron.
James.
Let's say you watch LeBron James, the old flop the roof.
yeah,
I'm a Laker fan, so I know. I say, yeah, you're flopping like LeBron.
so there's going to be once or twice a game where Mahomes does something where he's acting like he's getting out of bounds, or he's acting like he's going to slide or something like that, and a guy hits them late, and it's a call, and he's kind of perfected how to sell that. And yeah, I mean, it's from my perspective, it's kind of bullshit, but. Uh, they're going to call that with him being one of the best guys. They got to protect him being the best quarterbacks in the league, and the Raiders need a guy like that, right? That's going to get Max Crosby that holding call that he's been asking for, right? When you get a premier quarterback, a guy that the league can make a lot of money around, then that's when you start getting those calls.
So we got a question from Myra G. Hey, Myra G. Salute. Welcome to the chat. The question is, how does it feel now to have the best tight end, Kelsey?
I've accepted it. I really have. I mean, I knew that wasn't going to last forever. And there'll be a point in time where Mahomes doesn't have Kelsey. He also doesn't have Andy Reid. And he'll have to figure it out. But Brock Bowers is beat Mike Dicke's record last year. And like I said earlier, the sky's the limit. There'll be a point in time in his career where people won't even be talking about Tony Gonzalez or Travis Kelsey. That's the type of potential that he has.
Yeah, this has been a lopsided rivalry for a while, but shout to it takes great teams to actually make us rise to the occasion. So, you know, we play our best ball. It seems like when we play you guys, our thing is finishing. Just
Yeah.
trying to finish. And with the coaching change, does that change with Pete Carroll coming over? Does he finally get us over that hump of how to finish these fourth quarters without melting down?
I do. I really do. I think that he's been in so many games and has so many experience with clock management that he's really going to understand how to break down a game, four quarters. Antonio Pierce, he was a solid coach, but he's more of like a motivator, like Mike
Mm,
Singletary, like was with the 49ers back in the day.
mm.
This guy's actually I feel like Pete Carroll is actually like a football teacher, um, guy that will actually get guys ready to go on Sunday. And I it wasn't their first choice. I know they wanted Ben Johnson, right? That signed with the Bears,
Yeah.
but they ended up going with Pete Carroll, and it's solid. It's a solid head coaching hire.
Yeah, well, on that story, they wanted Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson had no intention of coming here because the organization was still kind of disarray. Pete Carroll was actually their second choice. He actually came down and said, "Let's change this." That was the fact that some people don't like to mention it. That's the fact that Tom Brady actually reached out to Pete Carroll and said, "Hey, come on, coach with us," because then you got football minds doing football things in the organization before we didn't. And going back to the Chiefs Raider rivalry, I'm gonna say this right quick. Back in the day, the Raiders used to stump the crap out of the Chiefs all the time. I mean, there was close games. They won some and lost some, but it wasn't no dominating game. It
Yeah, I know
changed.
you guys owned us. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. When this rivalry first started, Al Davis was the front runner. He knew things before anyone did, and there's no doubt, and I know that. And just recently, it's kind of the rivalry's kind of gotten out of hand, and that's why I said that I believe that Denver and the Raiders is more of the best rivalry game in the AFC West right now.
Mm,
Ooh.
I kind of too want to counteract that. I don't think it is. They did win 2 games last year, but before that, we won like what 16 straight against them. So it's not a rivalry yet. It only won two. It won two out of what? What's the record? I don't know, but we won the last 8 games.
I feel like Denver and the Raiders, there's more hype around that game in the week than there is with a Chiefs Raiders game or a Chiefs Denver game. I just feel like there's more hype around that game.
You think so? Because they did have a good history because they always play well. We play even against all the teams: the San Diego Chargers, the Denver Broncos, and Kansas City. I still call them San Diego because they don't belong in L.A.
Yeah,
But
yeah, me too. I get that one too.
but we had a lot of great games against those guys. Like I said, I'm an old school Raider. I've been a Raider fan since 76, 77. I've seen it all. Not
Okay.
all, but I saw a lot of it. And I saw the games like we should have won, but one field goal, one fumble, one stupid penalty, we lost. That's what it was. I could accept that the field goals, so not the penalties and the stupid mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been too long, Chris. It really has. As someone that realizes that the Raiders being a good team is probably really good for the league, being that this is a global fan base. Like
Uh-huh.
this fan base is all across the world. Like the Chiefs are strictly really in Missouri. I mean, they're getting bigger with this Taylor Swift stuff, but the Raiders are a global brand. So people want them to be good, and it's just been too long. And you're talking about the older days, and they really need to get back to that style of smash mouth football, physical at the line of scrimmage. Um, yeah, and I think having Ashton Genty, who do you guys compare him to?
I don't. I can't compare him yet because I haven't seen him on the field. He hasn't been in college. Yeah, maybe all right. Some players, a lot of running backs, but until you put the actual pads on for the Raiders and get on the field and do some running, then I compare him contrast to a different player because we have Raiders always had great running backs until the last few years. But until he gets the pads on, get out there and take some real NFL hits,
Yeah.
then I compare him to somebody.
So
I'm
the knock on him was his height, right? I
mm,
mean, and I'm kind of looking at shorter running backs. How tall was Barry Sanders?
It was 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah,
yeah, it was
and Genty's 5'8" too. I mean,
I love that.
I compare him to like a LaDainian Tomlinson. That's what he's gonna
Oh,
do for the Raiders this team. He needs to get 20 to 25 carries a game, though. You can't give him like 10 carries what they're doing with Bijan Robinson and Jameer Gibbs. Give this guy the rock and let him work. And that's why you guys drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying like Doug Martin or Maurice Jones-Drew, but I like the LT comp. I hope to God that he can,
He's
become
better than
something like
those
that.
guys. He's definitely better than those guys. Doug Martin, I know Tampa Bay, and then with Jones Drew with the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like he's better than those guys
I love it already.
for a longer period of time. And don't get me wrong, those guys were really good, but only for a few years. Genty, I'm talking like a 10 to 15-year career. I definitely at like 1,200 yards or more.
And that's why I think the Raiders not going to try to run him into the ground. That's why they put them Mozart or Merced, whatever his name is. I always call him Mozart. But they can't run him to the ground yet because this is his first year in the NFL because he got college and pros, are completely different. You playing against boys in college and pros, you playing against grown men. So until you take a hit from one of those linebackers or one of those safeties or anybody like that or a defensive lineman, until he
Yeah.
takes that hit, let's see how he can absorb the hit and can he continue to go.
My thing is always if you draft a guy that high, especially a running back, being that now you can get a running back now in the third or fourth round that can lead the league in rushing. Genty's got to get the ball 20 to 25 times like a game. He can't be babied. Like they got to make him the vocal point of the offense.
Mhm.
You got a shout out from Myra G. I'm just glad y'all beat the Winers in the Super Bowls. So if you know, you know. If you're from the Bay, you probably share those sentiments. But yeah, sorry to cut
Yeah,
out.
that's another team that I will not really even say anything about because of how close those games were. It was kind of flip a coin and one team was going to win. Yeah, I felt like they probably should have lost the first game against Garoppolo. The second game, it could have went either way.
Ooh, what was going through your mind this last the game we were talking about a little earlier with the Jackson Powers Johnson fumble, where we tried to go for that last play. You guys win 17 or 19-17. What was going through your mind when the the fourth quarter of that game?
It's over. Like they're in field goal range. Daniel Carlson's probably gonna to knock that home, and yeah, I mean that's what I felt like. But and when the bad snap happened, like things have been like that the whole year. So I wasn't shocked, but that's just how lucky the Chiefs 2024 season was. So I mean, does luck really last for that long? I mean, all the close games that they've won, I think it was 17 straight close game, one score games the Chiefs won, um, have won in a row. So we'll see if that luck continues to happen.
Ooh,
No. I'm gonna go back to what you were saying talking earlier about the Raiders and stuff and worldwide. What make the NFL make money is two teams. The Raiders is one, and that was the Dallas Cowboys. When those teams do good, NFL makes money. It's sort of like basketball. When the Lakers and Boston are good together, they make money. Same thing in baseball. When the Dodgers and Yankees are good, the league makes money. So there's always two teams the league need to have to be good. One's the Raiders, one's the Cowboys. Those teams doing good in the playoffs, the team makes money because those are two biggest fan bases in the NFL.
I
You know,
agree. I agree. There's no reason why the Raiders shouldn't be a playoff team every single year. I mean, you see Patrick Mahomes, but is Mahomes still the same guy as the 50 touchdown, 5,000 yard year?
I don't think so. I think he's more of the play of the what do you call it? The time management and making sure he's the last one with the ball. I noticed that's just he knows how to grind. He just knows how to grind the game. And like he understands ball control and pretty much that basically with his offense, they could pretty much score on anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's cooking, he's cooking. And like you said, some of the things, like one of the things that drives me crazy is when he does that pump fake and then he still keeps going. I'm like, oh my God, somebody,
Yeah.
but I'll be like, somebody hit him hard. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's crazy. Like he's like a basketball player. He's almost like a point guard out there. You know what I mean? Like he could create so much. And like I've seen him so much where I'm like, oh yeah, he's about to get creamed. And he'll make a little move or a little hesitation and then just gets loose. I'm like, this dude's a magician, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because you'll talk about he'll be like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and
yeah.
he'll be pump faking
And
across
he
the
still
field.
gets with
He'll
the
be
fake.
pump faking across the field, and he's moving so slow. Everybody else is moving kind of at the same speed, right? Nobody wants to even touch him out there. I've seen it multiple times where he just runs through tacklers and people do not want to touch him. I'm not sure if that's because you might get a flag or what's happening. But when he first started, it's funny, his career, he would throw interceptions right in guys' hands and they would drop them. It was something I had never seen before. He must have threw 20, 30 interceptions in guys' hands, right in their hands, but they would drop it. And now they're catching them. So
Mhm.
something's changed where he's something has changed. He's not making those highlight plays where he's rolling out to his right and throwing off one leg anymore. Really, the only things he's doing is the no look behind the back shit. So it's his game has changed, and I agree.
Well,
He's turned into a manager, a clock management.
well, I don't think the NFL now is going for this hokey doke shit stuff. It's like his punt fakes 5 yards down the scrimmage or all that stuff. I think they're starting to figure like, yeah, okay, we're not falling for that anymore. The old banana and tailpipe trick no more. We're not falling for that.
Yeah,
So they kind of like keying in on. But also going back to that is I think the referees. I'm gonna say this made it so that you couldn't touch Mahomes, and a lot of these players are scared to touch him. To me, like they're scared they really put a football hit on him because the rules say if he's once he runs past the line of scrimmage, he's officially a running back. Now you can hit him
yeah.
legally, not like destroy him, but legally. And they're still scared to do it because they're scared that they're gonna get a flag because these times somebody touched Mahomes back in the day, late hit. Dude, the ball, he was like in a millisecond from ball getting out of his hands and get hit, late hit. Like that can be, you can't stop a 300-pound man from running into you on a dime.
There's
With a
been
physical
times, Chris. There's been times where I've watched and seen exactly what you're talking about, and I'll call it out, and I go, I know what's going on here. I don't like it. I don't like what happened against the Texans. They played a game against the Texans. Um, I want to say it was against the Texans in the playoffs or something like that, where there was just blatant calls they were calling for the Chiefs to get them to the next round. I don't like to win like that. I'd really just like to really the better team to win, but it seems to me that they want to protect the Chiefs some way, and there's been a ton of calls like that, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
where people don't want to even touch them because they're afraid to get fined out of their check, or it makes people play differently. So
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but that's the thing though, is getting the generational quarterback. That's what you guys are definitely missing. Now Geno Smith makes you better, but for how long? He's definitely the a good temporary solution. He stitches up the wound, but really to heal that wound for a long period of time, you need the generational quarterback. There's 5 coming out in next year's draft.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if that's something that you guys are looking at, but Sellers from South Carolina, Nussenberger from LSU, Arch Manning too as well. I mean, there's a lot of.
Archman's not coming out. I don't think. I
You
don't
don't
think.
think they'll come out?
No, I don't
Okay.
think that the man's gonna keep him in college, and it basically depends who won't have the first pick. If one of the teams that really that because teams that get first pick, these teams are always sorry every year. So
Mm,
I don't think the man's want the same thing they're gonna do with their with Eli. Said I don't want him going to Chargers. No, they want to go
yeah,
to a better team. So I don't think he's going to come out. I think he was a sophomore this year or junior. I think it's a
yeah.
junior.
He's got a couple more years of
Yeah.
eligibility left.
So yeah, he want. I don't think they'll let him come out. I don't think they want him to come out and get in there and feel and ruin the Manning name. So
Have you guys given up on Aiden O'Connell yet?
Never,
I don't think so.
never.
I don't think so.
That's my guy.
I think Adon Connell will get better this year. Now that he has Geno Smith in front of him, he can learn a few more things from Geno because they didn't have anybody to develop Adon Connell. They just threw him in a fire. They just literally that idiot McDummy. That's what we call him, Daniels.
Yeah,
Just threw him in a fire. You try to prove his ego and his point. This guy's a rookie. You threw him against one of the better defenses in the league, the Chargers, and see what he can do. And he damn near almost pulled it out.
yeah,
Almost. Except for Cleo Matt had to sack him 6 times. But other than that, threw him in a fire.
yeah.
Literally. And
I
that
I
and that
like
and that,
him.
and that shatters when you come out of college into the pros, and then that happens. That kind of shatters your confidence. But he's still a good quarterback.
That's my philosophy too. Is I don't like to really start a rookie right away. I like to typically redshirt him that whole year, and if so, play him in that last game, or play him in the last couple games. But what Aiden O'Connell's done, especially in Arrowhead, he'll always be on my a legend, a Raiders legend in my mind for what he's done in December in cold weather games. It's tough to go into Arrowhead Stadium and play that well. I give him credit how what he's done.
Yeah, I don't think they go because he's number 2 quarterback. Some of our fan base saying trade him and all that stuff. I said, why? We have one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league right now. You know,
Exactly.
if you can take O'Connell out, he could probably start for a lot of other teams that don't have quarterbacks. So why would we trade him? Trade him for what? There's nothing out there. And we did draft a quarterback.
Yeah, that's
So
right. I was just going to mention Cam Miller from North Dakota State. I don't know too much about him. 6th round pick. Have you guys heard anything?
he's doing pretty good in the t-shirt and helmet league OTA. But like I said, we'll see all this in a couple of weeks when they actually throw the pads on because it's easier to throw the ball when you have no pads on.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But then the Raiders, we haven't drafted a quarterback the last few years. So we had a Derek Carr. So we said, hey, we'll need a quarterback. So they passed up a lot of quarterback. I think we drafted one, Connor Cook, but they stopped
On
drafting quarterbacks.
Michigan State, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him.
Yeah. He played in a couple of games, but I don't think he's in the league still. But
No, he's not.
okay. So
Now I think Aiden O'Connell. Do you go with 3 quarterbacks on the roster? Do you put Cam Miller on the practice squad, or go
no,
with two quarterbacks on the roster?
I think we go with 3. You can put a Carter Bradley on practice squad. So someone might yank him because if you'd have put Cam Miller in a practice squad and knew how it was last year, all the quarterbacks got hurt, someone will yank him up. So he has to be on the active roster if they want to keep him.
Roster.
Yeah,
Okay.
he has to be on the active roster. So they'll keep they'll initially 2 quarterbacks, AOC and Gino, and have him as a third emergency quarterback on the roster. So, but
Gotcha.
they put on practice squad. Some teams going like, "Oh, he's on practice squad," and they're free
Somebody
to
yank him
snatch
up.
him
Yeah.
up. Mhm.
Yeah. I think I actually agree with that. I think Bradley, they'll send him to the practice squad because probably nobody will, grab him.
If they don't release him, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be good with that 3 quarterback system right there.
And then I liked how Sincere McCormick ran the football later on in the year, the last couple of games. What did you guys think?
I think he should be in there after that first 3 games when Zeus couldn't get 1 yard. Yeah, you should put him in there. But one thing about McCormick, he was always like hurt. He was hurt for a while.
Yeah, he was.
And then he got hurt again. So you got to keep his durability up, and he's a third back right now. So you got to keep his durability up to get in the game. But yeah, he should have started long. I would have started before Zamir White.
Yeah, he should have. He's shown that. Yeah, to me, Chris, he's shown that he should be on the roster and on this team. And he's the 3rd running back right now over Mostert. But eventually, one of those guys get hurt. I'd be confident in McCormick to get carries.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely need that solid 3, because it, like we were talking about a couple of days ago, we don't want it to be like, okay, when Genty's in, he could do a little bit of everything. Mostert can do both catch and run. And then when it comes to Zeus, they're going to be like, okay, this is probably a fake. Excuse me. My bad. Schmear.
You get canceled.
Mr. White. When he is in the game, they're going to be like, this is probably play action or something crazy, just something. I want it to be like unpredictable where they don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's why I think Sincere gives us that best chance to be able to, because he could break tackles. That's the one thing I like about him. He makes people bounce off him. It's just keeping him in the game, keeping him healthy.
But a lot of times, a lot of guys don't mention about Genty is that last year he had the rushing yards. Didn't have any receiving yards. The year before, we had a quarterback that's now in Arkansas that I wish who we can pick up because the guy's good.
Mm-hmm.
He had 600 receiving yards out the backfield.
That's
not bad for running back. So he can catch the ball out the backfield. And they had him running routes earlier in OTA. So he's also a dual threat running back where I can catch the ball and I can run it. People forget about that. They don't worry about his 2,600 yards. Yeah, great. But he also
Yeah,
can
that's
catch.
the question for me is how they're going to use him. Are they going to make him the vocal point of the offense, or are they going to split carries with Mostert?
I would like them to split, because Mostert hopefully can still, because I mean he's at the end of his career. So let's squeeze as much out of Mostert as we can while we get Genty developed and get him used to NFL speed and everything like that. But let Mostert kind of take the lead, as far as, because he can catch out of the backfield and then he's fast enough to take anything to the house. So,
Yeah.
just like let him kind of learn from Mostert as he leads kind of by example. And, but let it be, maybe 60-40, something like that. You know what I mean? If not 50-50, but just let Mostert kind of show him just how to maneuver, you know?
Okay, so you're a fan of the splitting carries with Mostert.
Yeah, like the Detroit situation, how they got Montgomery and
Yeah,
Gibbs,
Gibbs.
kind of that two man 1-2.
I'm
Okay.
I'm looking at like a 20, 25 to 15 split. That's what I'm looking at. Ginty getting most of the carries, most of come in there. Most of more like the third down back because the NFL know what most can do once you get that, and also they know what he can do in the red zone.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
get him in there, the teams and with Bowers and all the guys, the defense is gonna be like, what are they gonna run? Well, they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna throw the ball. So can keep the defense guessing. Because my philosophy is this: if you can get a defensive coordinator sit in the booth with a big Costco tub of Tums, you're winning the game because he's getting nervous. Like, what do I call?
Yeah, exactly. So you're seeing more of Genty inside the 20s, and then once you get to the red zone, throwing Mostert in at that point in time, or like on a third down situation.
You can have them both in there at the same time in the 20. I mean, I'm not saying take Jitty out when he get in the red zone. No, keep him in there because in any given time he can break one. But I'm
True.
just saying though, if it comes down to it, you have the option to put him in the red zone because he's a red zone threat. Mozart is. But then you can also put both of them in there. You know,
Oh, have one on each side and like a
yeah,
shotgun formation.
yeah.
I like that. I
A
like
two
that.
tight a two tight end set with one receiver, one big receiver because we got two big receivers. You
Mhm.
Yeah,
know,
they're going to be playing a lot of 12, a lot of two tight ends,
yeah,
one running back, I bet.
because they can't. Tucker in the red zone might be not too conducive because he's short.
Mhm.
Because Gio's got to throw the ball up high and tight. I would get the big receivers in there, the tight
Maybe
ends.
throw a fade route up to Dante Thornton. He's
Man,
6'5".
Mhm.
that's all we need. We got the other guy, Collins. He bounced on the league. He's 6'6", and we got a 6'6" tight end, Ishmael. So we
There's a
have some.
guy, Zachary Franklin. He's a
Mhm.
was an undrafted free agent.
Mm,
I was looking at his numbers, and he had really good numbers, a lot of experience, a lot of catches. This guy could be a guy that right on the edge of making the team that could possibly make the team, and over a guy like I think he's better than that Tommy Malloy, a guy that a 6 round pick from Montana State, someone that could really challenge for a roster spot.
but a lot. Tom a lot is. I think he's going to be a special teamer because right now they got him listed as number one kickoff and punt returner. I think it'll be more or less. They probably might put him in the office on special situations or certain plays, but his speed and his elusiveness is pretty good. So it'll be more like kickoff, punt return specialist. Because now
Yeah,
he's battling Dylan Lobby, who is now officially off the Raider depth chart as a running back. He's more of the special team guys now.
okay, so now what's cool about Labe is the Chiefs and Raiders made a trade, right? They traded Neil Farrell, right, for a 5th round pick, I want to say, and with that pick, the Raiders drafted Dylan Lobby. So that's why I always remember that name.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You guys
Yeah,
remember a guy named Neil Farrell? He was a defensive tackle.
Oh,
yeah,
we
yeah,
do.
yeah. We do.
One of
Because
the
we question why we traded in the division for one, but I think at that point we were so desperate for draft picks that it was like, hey, at least we got a
and
pick
we were
out of it.
desperate that Chris Jones wasn't going to sign. that was the main thing. We needed some a tackle in because Chris Jones was asking for more money, and he ended up holding out that first game against the Lions, and we lost. Next week, signed him, paid the man.
Yep, I don't think you guys lost a game until us. Was that the same season or no? Or was that the
I want to say that was like 2023.
Oh, okay.
2023, yeah. Because I don't think maybe he can snatch Chris Jones up, but he wanted that big money. And at that time, we didn't have the big money. We were just getting over our coaching staff and all that BS we went through.
Yeah, and I'd seen some reports that possibly Tyreek Hill, the Raiders were interested in bringing him, and I just don't see it with the you being an older fan. Do you remember the Fred Blitnikoff and his daughter situation?
Exactly, yeah.
Was that domestic violence? You don't mess with people that have hit women.
Yeah, that's Al Davis Al Davis, sorry. Mark Davis is doing. He said, I'm not bringing these guys who are troublemakers outside the football and inside as well. Tyreek Hill did.
I wish the
Tyreek
Chiefs would adapt to that type of a philosophy.
Tyreek Hill is good, the player, very good. They call him chief, but they call him chief for a reason. But the person, no, he doesn't fit the regular organization. So, and plus the money, no, we don't need to spend that much money on receiver when we got receivers that got speed.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a reason why. I mean, they're getting rid of guys like Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill, right? Those are eye guys, like they're not like team guys. You want to bring in guys that are really for the team, guys that aren't going to show up to meetings late or not even show up to a meeting at all, right? You want someone 100% bought in. Maybe that's possibly why. I know they're not going to make a move for Tyreek Hill, but why
that's
they
good.
did make a move for Jalen Ramsey, who said he wanted to play in Las Vegas, right?
Okay, our biggest critic that we have on our station, Roshan, here to give you a compliment.
I was gonna say, that's a pretty
that,
good.
This is our biggest critic.
Yeah.
He always bashes me. I love Roshan. He always bashes me.
Roche
But
Raider.
he gave you
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
he gave
Thanks
you a
for saying
compliment.
that, man.
Yeah,
Thank
that's why we rock with Chief, man. Like Chief has very, very good takes. Definitely.
If you get that from him, that means you're doing good.
Really? That's awesome.
You get the Raider show pass, man. Like, because I said, when we do these crossover shows, definitely when we meet up for these KC, Raider games, definitely, we'd like to have you on so we could talk, talk all the way up to the rivalry.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and it's gotten much closer now. I mean, this is like the perfect time to do this, right? Because now, I mean, Gino's there. The confidence is probably, I mean, more I'd say than it's ever been since like a 2016 Derek Carr that season, or coming off a Super Bowl back in the day. So I mean, it's a good time to be a Raiders fan, because I really do think that they will go from 4 wins to 10.
That's what I got.
Man, you're always welcome here, man. We appreciate you.
No problem, man. No problem.
Yeah, we know, of course, we don't like other teams. I hate all 31 of them, but I do like football fans of football. I welcome many football fans here because, of course, you get those fans that go and get in our chat, and probably yours too, when you do your shows, that it just talking. Like, okay, are we talking football? Or you just want to be mad at me, but you're different. So we appreciate it.
You kind of learn to be open-minded, right? You kind of learn to look at all 32 teams on really not how to hate on them, but how to get them better, right? How to get them to a Chiefs level. I mean, losing the Super Bowl, it made me change my content. It turned me into like, okay, maybe the Chiefs window is closing. So how do I open some windows up for other teams? And that's kind of been my approach is how teams can beat us. And that's where I'm going now.
Please share this content too to Pete Carroll, guys, Chip Kelly, Patrick Graham. Please share his shows to our people, everybody involved, so we can figure this thing out this year. But continue.
Well,
No.
Max Crosby's not going to like my newest video that I made on him. I basically called him out. I mean, this guy's been a leader, and he's lobbied for multiple coaches, and he really hasn't done anything to make the situation better, right? He's lobbied for these coaches, and then he wants them gone. So at the end of the day, this is on him. He's a leader of this team, and he's got to really find a way to make this team better. I mean, he can't have puppets at training camp. Remember last year, a Mahomes puppet that they bought at training. He can't have that as a Raider. As the leader of the Raiders, he's got to be more professional. They got to have a more professional approach. And I really hope with this new contract that he signed, he acts like that because it's on
Well,
him.
well, yeah. Remember at the end of that season that we had that McDummy in the building. Matt Schaub is one a better coach because he wanted a better atmosphere, so he lobbied for AP, which I thought was good because I was jumping off the couch like yeah, but he wasn't a proven coach. He had no experience. Matt Crosby want to win. Matt Crosby don't get help because when he played defense, he's getting double teamed, he's getting held. Was nobody else helping out? That one year we had Kuntz on the either side. You saw what he did. Did a little better. Plus he was hurt too because he played hurt for the past 3 years. So now he got more help. He got an experienced coach. Got the same DC. He probably got better offense. Hopefully they do. So now he should have nothing to say. Go out
Yeah,
there and play football.
this is really, for me, this is the year where we've talked about defensive player of the year. He should be right up there. He should be at least top 3, a defensive player of the year. He's got to be able to take over. I know that Tyree Phillips is his name, the guy from Texas Tech, the drop pick. I know he hasn't really worked out too well.
Tyree Williams?
Tyree Williams,
Wilson.
yeah.
Oh, Wilson. Tyree Wilson, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wilson, but Kuntz is going to help him out. Have you guys heard anything about Christian Wilkins' injury?
It's kind of hush hush. They're not saying much about it. Some people say he's gonna miss a whole year. Some people say he's gonna miss the first 5 games. We don't know yet. They're not saying anything, which is fine with me. If he can't make it back by game 7, just send him out for a year because we got to pay him all that money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We do his contract, and then hopefully he gets better, gets fully into the season after that. But they don't work. They're not saying anything, which is good.
That's the question mark for me. I mean, if Wilkins can play and get back to the level he was playing with the Dolphins, then that's just going to make Crosby more elite. So I think Wilkins definitely needs to be able to be on the field. So
yeah. Well, that was a dumb mistake by his own teammate, but things happen. People get hurt.
It's a Jones fracture, from my understanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alan Butler jumped on his back to celebrate and then crack and broke it.
That happens a lot. Teammates hurting teammates out there.
Chief, you were saying it earlier too. Like I when it comes to how that injury happened, because you were talking about we were kind of celebrating and stuff like that. Like I don't like the fact that we won 4 games last year. I'm not trying to take the fun out of the game. That's not what I'm doing. But there's times that you should look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I have nothing to celebrate. We have a lot to work on and we're not there yet. So I like those teams that shake hands and get back to the play. You know what I mean? They'll come
talking about the cigars last year.
Yeah, like that too. Like we haven't done enough. Like those mild little victories. Even one thing that McDaniel said that was true, because we were celebrating a win. I guess a win is a win, but at the same time, what did it mean? You know what I mean? He was like, okay, we're celebrating this team, this win, but then if we go out and get our butts kicked next week, it means nothing. You know what I mean? So like that's one thing I want us to get back to. Yeah, I have fun. I don't want to take the fun out of the game, but we haven't earned anything yet. We haven't earned the right to celebrate anything. There's work to be done. Even after we do something good, it's that's what I didn't like about Pierce. We would win one game and he'd be like, "Oh, we're off till Wednesday. We
Yeah.
haven't done nothing. Like we should be in fact working harder. Like, okay, we did that. Let's stack another one. I'm not gonna eat, sleep until I get another one. That's the
Yeah.
mentality. We got to get back to that.
I felt like, yeah, I mean, the cigar situation, to celebrate week by week like that, um, you should be able to celebrate after the goal is completed, right? I felt like he preached that. I mean, to enjoy wins like that and really not to build off of the wins. So the Raiders beat the Ravens last year, right?
Yeah.
And after that game, really nothing, and they didn't really build anything off of that at
Mm.
that point. So there was good wins. I mean, in the beginning of the year against the Ravens, but uh, yeah, I feel like now they actually have a head coach that uh, can go through a 17 game season.
That was the only quality win we had. You know, beat the Ravens, come back home for a home opener, lose to at that time one of the worst teams in the NFL. Not the worst, but one of the top bottom teams. And we
Came
get
back.
in and get in there and get our butts blown out. Not just a close game, but we get our butts whipped royally. You know, we beat the Browns. They were a fuster cluck. Who else would be New Orleans? The teams like wasn't doing anything anyway, so I don't call those quality wins. You know, would it beat to your guys, the Chiefs? That'd be a quality win.
Yeah,
That's okay. We can do this now. But beating teams at the bottom of the barrel is not quality win. Those are games you should win anyway, according to your talent and everything else. But we didn't have all that put together. Pete Carroll now is starting to put that together. Like I said, it's not going to be pretty this year coming up, but I said 10 wins is my bottom line. 8,
well, there's
I'll
going to
be
be a
like,
lot of new faces on the field, especially at skill position. Jack Beck and Dante Thornton, they're going to be playing a lot. I got high hopes for Zachary Franklin to make this roster too as
yeah,
well. A third tight end named Ian Thomas, who's pretty good. Came over from Carolina. So there's going to be a lot of new faces. Alex Kappa. Um, so this whole Raiders offense is pretty revamped. You're not gonna see the same besides Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers and Bowers, the offensive line. But yeah, I just think with this different roster, they definitely have a chance to make the wild card. I got Denver actually picked to win the division, but I do have the Raiders to win the wild card.
mhm.
Ooh, that's a hot
I
take
heard
right
that. I heard
there.
that too. I heard that before too. So they're picking Denver because of their defense is going to be really stout this year with
That's
their
what I've been hearing.
with their additions. It all depends on what Bo Nix can do in his sophomore year. So we'll see. It's going to be a competitive battle in the AFC West. And the one thing about that is that in the AFC West, we just beat each other up. We
Yeah.
just beat each other up so bad. And it's
Chris,
ridiculous.
every one of those games should be on prime time. Like an AFC West game, they should not put that on a back of a schedule, right? You need to have that on a 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific type of a game because they're always going to be close. They're always really good games, and um, there's just some nastiness to them. Teams
Well,
don't like each other.
we me and Jason and a few of my content creators I hold shows with, uh Black Friday should be played in LA. I mean in Las Vegas against one of our divisional rivals, either the Chiefs, either
Yeah,
Broncos, or the homeless Chargers.
Mm.
You know, they should play Black Friday in Allegiant Stadium with one of those rivals.
yeah.
Guaranteed a lot of people watch it. Guaranteed.
A lot of people would. Well, yeah, I mean, the Raiders are on prime time. A lot of people are going to watch.
Yeah, because they got Christmas Day. They got the Cowgirls and Detroit. They play there now. You know they should have a Black Friday dedicated to that. If NFL was smart, of course they're not. But if they were smart,
The
It won't-
Chiefs got to play on Christmas and Thanksgiving this year, so um, that's something when your playoff team, they throw you on dates. I think they played every single day last year or last season. So
Yeah, they had a lot of prime time. So, but you get prime time when you win. Because the last game of the season it's against your team, the Chiefs, and it's a flex game, which
yeah,
means that it'll probably be a Sunday night game. Especially if it's like, okay, Bears winning in playoffs. If the Chiefs lose, they're going out of the third, whatever. There's going to be a lot of things, hopefully a lot of things that are going to cause that game to call be a flex game where we got to show this game like they
yeah,
did with.
yeah, definitely. How ever since the Christmas games, right? They need to have the Raiders and Chiefs on prime time. Um, it's going to be a close game, and it's going to be fun to watch. I've been saying that all year. I mean, every single one of these games should be on prime time.
Yeah. Well, the AFC West is the best division in football right now. And I'll say the second probably best. Who's the second best division all football, NFC and the AFC? Who do you think is the best division besides the AFC West? The most competitive one.
The Cowboys, the Eagles, that
yeah,
division.
yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say the North, even
North.
with the Bengals being, or I guess the Browns being the worst team in that one. But I mean, you see, we barely beat the Browns. So
NFC West is tough too.
which
I'm
one?
gonna say
NFC West.
Oh
NFC
yeah,
North. NFC North is gonna be I think, will be the toughest division because you got the Green Bay Packers, you got new head coach Chicago Bears, and they redid their whole team this past off season and the draft. And
Yeah,
then
that one's going to be underrated. Not a lot of people are going to be thinking about that division, but
yeah,
Ben
I think it
Johnson,
is.
Ben Johnson. I mean, it will definitely make the Bears better. I don't know. I don't know if Caleb Williams, if football is his number one priority right now. I don't know if he truly loves it, and I question that with Trevor Lawrence too.
Well, I think Caleb Williams more worried about opening up his new nail shop. So his fingernail stuff. Well,
Which,
I
I
say
saw that coming out. I saw that coming out. Yeah, a red flag right there.
I'm a USC fan, so also I'm playing USC. So I'm like, dude, what? Anyway, do what you want here, man. You don't
But
care.
but Al Davis loved those USC quarterbacks,
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
he?
yeah,
That's why I went out and got Carson Palmer.
big arms. He liked the speed and big arms.
And Top Marinovich from USC. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
that was he played for.
Let me
I
see.
watched the 30 for 30 on him. You ever see that?
Yeah, poor him.
His dad was bad though.
His
Like his
dad
dad was
ruined him.
all over him.
His dad ruined him.
True.
But anyhow, so you saying who you saying is going to win the division? You said Broncos.
Denver. Yeah, I like Denver. I had them at 12-5.
Who's outside looking in?
Chargers
Think
Nice.
so?
7-10.
I love
I
it.
had them taking a step back, and it wasn't nothing against them or nothing that Harbaugh's done wrong or anything like that. I just feel like somebody's got to take a step back. I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think the Raiders have done enough to be that a wild card team, and the Broncos are a real probably the best defense in the league and a really good offensive line. And Bo Nix is just going to get better with Sean Payton. So the 10th guys, the 10th division title in a row. That's always the toughest, right? The 10th. So I mean, I don't know. I can't see him getting a 10.
Well, the Chargers always look good on paper right before the season starts. Oh, Chargers are Super Bowl predicted or Super Bowl, this and that. Always on paper, but then by the time season ends, never happens. So I was saying that the Chargers will come in third. I had the Broncos coming last, and
Oh
Chiefs
yeah.
then the Raiders. I just think Bo Nix did a lot last year, but I don't think he did enough to really make him that quarterback the face of the team yet. I mean, it's still to be determined. The defense on Denver actually won most of the games. This as a Chiefs too, because your defense was actually pretty good last year. You guys won
Yeah.
more games than the offense did. So
And there was a week 17 game where we played Denver, and Bo Nix was like 20 of 20 at one point in that game, and that's what really clicked for me. And they beat us 38-0.
well, you got to
And
remember, you guys didn't play all your players too, neither.
there was a few defensive starters out there. There was a
Yeah.
few defensive starters out there, but I mean, 38-0. I mean, the worst loss in the Andy Reid era. And that's when I knew that Denver was going to be taking the next step.
Dang, I don't even remember that. That's
I
crazy.
do. I remember they didn't play they didn't play a lot of these starters. They did play some starters, but they didn't play a lot of these starters because they know they know they're in the playoffs. They already had everything wrapped up. My philosophy was I think they didn't want to get the Bengals in there in the playoffs because Joe Burrow is the Chiefs' kryptonite. And I don't think they
Possibly
want.
that could have happened, but Carson Wentz. That's why we're going with Minshew right now is because of how Wentz played in that game. That's why they went with a different option. I mean, Wentz was terrible. I mean, he couldn't get a first down at all. It looked like Mahomes in that Super Bowl. So that's why they're going with a different option at the backup quarterback. But yeah, you're right. A lot of starters didn't play in that game, but that was a game that the Chiefs should have kept a lot closer. And it was because of Bo Nix. He didn't miss, and it was with guys not household names like McLaughlin, Estime, Vele. And I mean, Sutton's really good. We know about him, but just guys that we've never even heard of before that he's making stars out there.
Okay. So Roshan, our biggest critic, like I said, once your YouTube channel. So if you are you in the chat, you can post it if you like. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind.
I dropped it a little earlier. Let me find it and I'll put it back in there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
So that.
it's Chief Fan Reacts. It's just in the search title.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact,
Because he probably go in there and talk to you and probably troll you. Don't pay him in their mind. He's good. He's a good guy.
No, I don't block anybody. I've been a lot of people have come through while I've been doing play by play, and for me, it's I just appreciate anyone showing up, taking the time out. Yeah, I mean, if it gets crazy, I'll read it and not even mention it or think about it. But I don't block anyone. I don't time anyone out.
That's cool. I don't either. That's why I have my moderators here. Sometimes they look at somebody, they don't like him, they let me know, hey, Chris, can you block them? Say, go right ahead. If
My
they're
thing
bothering,
is
if they're bothering their chat, if they go and spam their chat too much, I'll tell them, yeah, go ahead and block them.
yeah,
Roshan, he's one of my guys. He does that.
my thing is there's nothing that anyone could say to me that would make me want to block you. That's kind of how my take is on it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it don't bother me, but like I said, if the chat going to each other's throat, like they say, can we block him? They'll ask me, or they just go ahead and do it. Or I'll tell them, hey, go ahead and block this guy. He's not making any sense. He's not talking about football. He's just talking nonsense. They kick him
Yeah,
out.
definitely. I mean, if you're spamming the chat or so, I get that, or you're just kind of being annoying or something like that. But I'm at the point in my channel where anybody that stopped by, I need anybody that can stop by, right? I need any of the
that part.
viewers I could get.
Exactly.
That part. Let me see. There was a question I wanted to add. Oh yeah. So, which player is will be the biggest X factor in the rivalry this season for you guys and for us?
Gino, for sure. I
Mm.
mean, that's going to be for sure the difference maker. The accuracy, not turning the ball over, right? Leading drives that are going to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and Genty's going to take pressure off of him. Bauer's numbers might go down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And that's because, right, Genty's going to be getting a lot of these carries, and Mosert's going to be coming in. We talked about this earlier, but Geno Smith is the guy. Geno Smith will be the reason why. I mean, this win increase that we have talked about. That's the guy, the difference maker.
Well, his numbers are going to drop compared to last year because that's all we had. We had him and Jacoby. We had nobody else going to catch the
And how
ball. No, and
also,
nobody can run the ball. So this year is going to be more options, especially with Chip Kelly, where he runs the offense. It's going to be a lot more options. He'll still get some some catches, but we like last year.
also Chris is really Pete Carroll how well he coaches the back end of that defense. I mean, if he can make those guys better and the front four can get home, like I mean, that's really what I'm banking. I'm banking on Kuntz and Crosby to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. And I'm also thinking that Wilkins will be able to play at some point. So
I'm going to read this to you, Chief. Okay, so Rochette said, at Chiefs fan reacts, can you please humble the majority of your fan base because you, sir, are 100% realist, and I can respect. So he gives you a lot of respect. I want me to read that out to you.
Roche, I can't find him on here. I might have met 20 Chiefs fans since I've been doing YouTube for about a year. So I don't know where they're at. I don't know how to find them. But there's a guy that has 280,000 subscribers, and he's a Chiefs fan, and he has a tough time getting 2,000 views in a live stream. So I don't know where they're at, but I'm thinking about putting flyers around Arrowhead Stadium of my channel. I don't know. Maybe that might help.
You know where they are? They on the Raider channels. That's where they are.
I don't know where they're at.
They're on the Raiders channel spamming us. That's where they are.
That's why I had to make Raiders content because I was like, I'm gonna be successful at this either way. Like I'm gonna figure out who's on here, what fan bases are the most popular, and like you said, Chris, it's Raiders and Cowboys, Eagles, Bills,
Oh, those are teams.
49ers. We'll throw 49ers in there too.
Okay, you gotta be careful with that because I got a lot of these Bay guys here hate the 49ers.
Yeah.
I can't hate the 49ers. My wife's a 49er fan.
Never heard of them.
I like to live happily.
They're huge
So
on here.
I can't bash 49ers. I like to live in peace.
They're not as big as you guys, but they're big on here.
Yeah. So who has the more passionate fan base?
Well, for sure, Raiders, right? I mean, to be a Raiders fan and having to go this long without winning a playoff game, I mean,
Damn.
it's just like to see how many Chiefs fans we lost after the Super Bowl. It's like they're
What?
not here anymore. You know, they're not here.
Wait a minute. You lost Chiefs fans. That's a Super Bowl. That's.
I mean, once they lost, I mean, you don't see them really anymore. Once they
Mm.
lost the Super Bowl, they stopped coming around YouTube. Really,
Very rare the fans, huh?
Dang.
front
But
runners.
we won 4 games last year and we still come around.
I know
Yeah.
that's why I said that the more pat on YouTube is definitely Raiders fans.
Let's play what if. Have you ever? Nah. What if John Gruden never got fired? Would the Raiders have caught the Chiefs by now?
Yeah, it's possible, but they would have had to get rid of Mayock. I think Gruden and Mayock would have eventually clashed, and Gruden would have stayed. Mayock would have went.
Well, Gruden was a de facto GM anyway because he made most of the decisions. Mayock didn't. Because of some couple stories that Mayock wanted this player and Gruden's vetoed it. Said no. And my thing is that general manager is the boss of the team. Coach is the coach. And that's the same thing we have with not Telesco. What's that guy's name? Ziegler and McDummy. You know, Ziegler said, get this guy, and McDummy said, no, I want this guy. So, you know, the GM's a GM. But this year, the GM, Spytek and Curl actually working together. As per the last few years, they didn't. They're actually working together.
Okay. What do you think about the Stafford situation and the Tom Brady wanting Stafford before Geno?
I think Stafford had no intentions on leaving the Rams. His wife was happy there, and his family was there. I mean, although Vegas, it's a 5.5 hour drive or a 35-minute flight. I don't think he had any intention of leaving. He just uses probably for leverage. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I don't think he was going to leave anyway. I had
Okay.
no, you know, and plus paying that money. Okay, fine. We have the money, pay him, but he wasn't leaving.
Okay.
And the Geno Smith thing come up until Geno Smith. They was working a contract out with Seattle, and Geno Smith wanted this amount, and Seattle said, "Now we're gonna pay you this amount." Geno said, "Well, trade me." The next day, Pete Carroll got on the phone and said, "Okay, go get my guy," and that's what happened. Go get him. Sean Brady said, "Okay, we'll take him."
I think Pete Carroll loved to have Gino, but my question is, did Tom Brady want Gino?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
They signed up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Brady won the not professional, excuse me, a veteran quarterback who knew how to run an offense other than Minshew. I know he likes AOC, but AOC is still not ready yet. I don't think he's not ready. By another year, he'll probably be ready. But he won the veteran quarterback. He wanted Stafford. Now couldn't get that. What's the next best option? Oh, hey, Geno Smith's on trade block. We can't get for him third. Give him third. We'll take him. Because if he didn't want him, he wouldn't have had him do that. He's just part owner. He's not the owner. But Mark Davis already gave Tom Brady the keys to the car. Say, okay, you do everything. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy my 26-year-old girlfriend and his right checks. That's all I'm gonna do. You guys handle all that business. So that's what
Okay.
Tom Brady did.
Yeah, I think I appreciated at least the try for Stafford because like you said, we haven't had a solid, starting quarterback for quite some time now. And for everything that Stafford's been able to do, for the Lions and his time at the Rams, is definitely better than anything we've had at the quarterback position. It didn't work out. Like Chris said, it probably was just a play for him to try to either get more money or just try to use for leverage. But
Okay.
I at least like that they were, trying for something, and even though it didn't, it was probably, Stafford first, and then the Geno thing kind of came up, and then they pounced on it. So
I was caught off guard by the Geno thing. I wasn't expecting Seattle to move him, and I believe it was only for a third round pick too.
And
So
we
it
got
wasn't a lot of value they gave up.
it back, but even a higher pick in the draft. So they didn't really losing anything. We got it back. They just lost a 5th-round pick, but it's it. It's what it is. But I think it's a good move. Like I said, it's a veteran quarterback. We've been through there. The guy, when Geno Smith only was out for 7 years, he was a backup for 7 years. Didn't play any starting role, so his body's not beat up. He's not getting hurt a lot. So he has some good fresh legs. I run the offense, played well behind this 28th ranked offensive line in the league, no running game. So I think it's a good move. And
He's a
plus,
guy who figured it out late. A lot of guys that happens to him, like Baker Mayfield, right? Sam Darnold, like guys that weren't good early in their career, but kind of figured it out later on. So some guys are like that, and I don't really look at Geno with the Jets, that situation. I just look at him with Seattle and what he did, and he just won there. And the offensive line is the only question mark. And the Raiders have a better O line than Seattle, so he's going to get time to be able to throw, and then also having Genty behind him too. So I like what I'm seeing the Raiders are doing for sure.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned earlier, like Gannon, he got better. He was a journeyman too. When he came to the Raiders, his career picked up until he got hurt. But sometimes quarterback takes a little longer than others. But actually, what I think it is more or less the quarterback got to play in the right system that fits their style of playing. Like if you take Mahomes and take him to the Jets, Mahomes is gonna suck.
Yeah. So in
Some of
that year, it was Gannon or Gerback, right?
the
The
quarterback, yeah.
Chiefs took Gerback because he was more of the gunslinger, right? The guy that can get throw for a lot of yards, and Gannon was the mobile guy to get outside of the pocket. And that move will always haunt us forever, right? Giving away Rich Gannon.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Guys,
So
I
if
think
you,
I'm gonna get on out of here, bro.
oh, for
I
sure.
gotta head on out, but I appreciate you for letting me stop by
Hey,
and
man.
talk ball with you.
Definitely so.
And this won't be the last time that I come on the show. We gotta do this more.
Oh,
Hopefully
definitely.
a couple more times before the season starts, and I definitely would like to come back on again if you have me.
Oh, no problem. You're welcome to come back because somebody chat likes you. I like you. You're respectable. So, yeah, definitely come
Yeah,
back.
I'm gonna sub to your channel, Chris.
Thank you.
Jason, I'm already subbed, but appreciate you for having me again. Thank you, guys.
Always,
All right.
always,
All right.
brother. Appreciate
All
you.
right, man.
And yeah,
Go back.
and definitely we'll get this going again for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good take. Good outtake. Good guy. I like people like that or fans of a team, but totally respects everybody and teams. He didn't trash us. He could have trashed us, but he didn't. He could have trashed the Getsy and all that stuff, but he didn't. He kept it clean.
Yeah, definitely appreciate his takes. Like, and he's got a lot of football knowledge too. So it's always good to talk to people that know what they're talking about. And yeah, I just hope this is the year. That
Well,
we
I hope
take,
it's the next few years. I don't want just one. I want few.
yeah, oh yeah, competitive. And like you said, this is the last years of Kelsey. Hopefully, Andy Reid and everybody all together. So I mean, what for great things to start, some things must come to an end. So we'll see, And I like his take on the Broncos 12-5.
Ugh,
How do we feel about that?
I don't feel good about that at all. I don't think 12-5.
That's a lot of wins for the Donkeys.
Yeah, their schedule's not as soft as ours because they were a playoff team, so they got a little more rough. I don't know. They had a good defense. They got Greenlaw, but he's not playing for the first 8 games, I guess. I don't know if he's out for the season. They built a defense up, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'm just looking at Bo Nix. And last year he didn't really impress me. If I say Bo Nix, like, yeah, I'm gonna see his second year. Just like C.A. Stroud, everybody's hyped on him. His first year as a rookie, man, balled out. Second year, no.
That is interesting though, because if that means that say Bo Nix does take that step forward, right? And then say Herbert, does he take that step back now? Is that because like you said, that's who's the odd man, that's the odd team out is the Chargers. So I would love that. That would be wonderful. And then that means we're competing, that we're up there too. So we still have that 3-team race, but Chargers sit this one out.
Yeah. Well, Denver only made the game playoffs last year because Kansas City basically gave them the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I told them they didn't play all these starters, and the Bo Nix had a hell of a game, 20 for 20. Yeah, when you don't have all your main guys in there, you're gonna look good. But we'll see. I don't think anything past Sean Payton. He's a good coordinator, quarterback coordinator. But we'll see. I still think we got one of the better coordinators. And I think Rock said something earlier about um, uh, Chip Kelly run a high octane offense.
Mm-hmm.
Only on certain teams he ran that. He didn't run a high octane offense again. When he was at Ohio State. So Chip Kelly adapts to the players he have on the team. I mean, we're not going to be a no huddle running team like that. I don't think we are. We're about to do a situation, but we're not going to be that's all we do. I think he's going to, like, hey, this player is good at this, so I'm having him. He's going to put players in the best position to succeed. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be high octane like some people expect. We're going to run like they did in Oregon. He didn't do that when he was at the Ohio State. He didn't do that with UCLA neither. And he didn't do that. Well, Philadelphia did for a couple of years. But he's changing his methods, so we'll see.
Yeah, this is going to be, and we're not there yet, as far as like being complete, but I definitely think we should draft a quarterback next year. We should invest in this line. Like the best tackle Now we can do that. Now we can take that gamble. We got the running back already. Now let's build around it and secure this thing for years.
Uh-huh. Like I said, he draft a quarterback every year, whereas not the first round, second or third, but at least later rounds, if he's still available, grab him. Just get him. Ain't gonna work out, you always cut him. You don't have to keep him. But see how he works out on OTAs and training camp. This guy might be, might be a Geno Smith out. You don't know. You never know until you draft a quarterback. Yes.
I'm getting next year's draft. I'm getting a quarterback, a tackle, a running back, and a wide receiver. You know what I mean? Out of those first 4 picks,
Not next year.
No.
A quarterback, yes. Running back, maybe later rounds.
Because look what we got behind. Say because we're going to lose Mostert at some point, so it's going to be Genty and.
Well, I said later, not early. Later, next year is going to be linebackers. The room's going to be big. The linebacker next year because me and Lunatic we discussed that, and I looked at the linebacker room. Linebacker room is going to be huge next year because our linebackers are they're veteran. They're kind of old in the tooth. Like Devin White's kind of long in the tooth. Which column is they're still serviceable, but we're gonna get some young linebackers in the building. So while they're there, they can learn from them because they only got 1-year contracts. So they might not be here next year.
Yeah, but we got the Lindenbergs, the Eckenbergs, the Charlingbergs, and like all the Bergs. We got the Gainers. We kind of got pieces as far as because I just think about the running back because I wanted a second running back this draft anyway, and we got Mostert, which was cool, but we're not going to have Mostert forever, so we don't want to wear Genty out. So that's why I say we still need to get like the Montgomery to the Gibbs, if you will, with Genty, because we can't be just satisfied with just one running back because if he gets hurt, we're right back to square one.
I'm not saying don't draft running back. I'm just saying not draft running back high because the running back room next year is not going to be big. It's going to be something there. What I'm saying though, you can draft a running back, you can draft him later on, or because you got to remember this. I keep telling you guys this. They got to cut these players down. They're going to be there's so many running backs on teams that they're going to have to cut some running backs. They're going to have to. No team going to keep 7 running backs on their team. Mm-hmm. If they do, they have the worst GM or worst owner ever. But they're going to be some running backs available after the cuts. Mm-hmm. Who to say McCormick don't get cut? He'd probably still be there, but who to say they bring in somebody else? Because they probably 4 running backs. Yeah. Samir's outside looking in. He might not even make the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at because I'm figuring a lot of these backs won't even be on this team next year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We have to, even if we have to shed 5 mediocre backs just to get 2 solid backs, what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely willing to do that because if we get rid of Collier. Zamir, all these guys, just to get 2 to 3 solid backs, where we don't have all these, sub good backs. You know what I mean? I just want us to have that 1-2 punch.
Jason, let me do it here. Go off air right quick. Bill, stay in chat. I mean, stay in chat, but move yourself a minute. I'm gonna talk to you right quick, guys. Be right back in a second. I gotta say something.
Gotcha.
Oh, you can't hear me. Never mind. Anyway, so I got an announcement to make. I don't know if I was gonna make my own show, but I'll probably be doing something else. I got things to do today. I don't know if I had time for it. I got my gift yesterday. I am now a new member of the Black Hole, and I want to open my box up. It's okay if I do it right now while people are. Is that okay with you, Jason?
Oh, hell yeah. I like surprises.
So I'm open my box up right quick. So I'm a member of the Black Hole now. Should have been a member of Black Hole a long time ago, but of course I couldn't. Here's a box they sent me. Of course, it's black. And so I'm opening it up and show you guys that Christopher Rare is now a member of the Black Hole, the Bakersfield chapter. So let's see what they send me. Hope it's not a bomb.
Yeah. I'll be pillaging by myself.
Yeah, man. Well, then you'll probably get the biggest views of all time because they say, wait a minute, somebody blew up live on air.
Like Chris just went viral.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris for extras.
Yeah, they should have sealed the hell out of this box. Man, okay. Hey, make sure nobody break in your box. Sealed it. No, maybe it's a gold bar in here or something.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's too light for that.
Being that we're on the show together, you got to split it if it is, though. If it's a platinum brick in there.
Oh, sure. I'll give you 10%.
Nice. I'll take it.
Hey, 10% $100, $10. So there you go.
Show is.
Yeah, man, take me over the box. I think they sure not seal these things. All right, almost there, guys. I'm sorry. Man, I might get one, so they're gonna take it like a day to get this thing open. I just blew it. Exactly, I blew it. I thought it'd be easier, look easier, but they must use that industrial Scotch tape. They kind of sticks to every damn thing.
That'd be crazy.
Huh?
That would be crazy. It's all. We're like, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. You're gonna talk, man. I'm just opening it up.
He's like, Chris?
I'll do my own show, but I say, what the hell? I got things to do. But like I said, by the time it gets open, my show might start tomorrow.
No, you all good.
Yeah, I don't know. He said different. He said different one. I can almost see that because they do get Chiefs a hard time. Denver's one of the teams besides us that get the Chiefs a hard time. He's not even playing.
Yeah. Even when we played them last year, too, when Garoppolo beat them, shit, we won by 1 point. Barely. You know, they play us tough. Like I said, that defense, they do. That's one thing they do right is defense, and it used to be running backs, but
well, they got a running back. I forget what they got.
Exactly.
They got somebody I wanted, but they got him.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Is it Hampton or is that? Did he go?
No, that's San Diego.
Oh yeah.
All right, finally got open. All right, Rochelle, you can calm down. Oh, I thought I had open. God damn. What the hell? All right, Blacko. You guys should go to shipping business because you guys ship things, man. You got to seal them up. I know a female do this because they rap pretty good. I don't know a guy didn't do this. Finally got open. I didn't get the one Jeff got because I can't afford it. I'm not rich like Jeff is. Good. So, now that I'm a member, now it's an envelope I got to open. Oh, my God.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a baby envelope inside of another envelope.
You're the father. What?
I knew it. No, it's fine.
All right. This is getting out of control. I should have opened it before, but I wasn't gonna do it like open it. But you know what?
Authentic.
Yeah, make sure. Because if something happens, I blew up. I want witnesses.
Mm-hmm. But Chris for Raiders was a good man. Yeah.
A big ad box. Yeah, exactly.
Until the day he opened that box on live.
Today's news: the avid Raider family, Raider family history, opened the box and got blown up. Details at 11.
Nice. This just in. Man loses everything.
I know, right? All right. There it is, folks.
Hey.
The official member of the Black Hole. That's what I'm talking about. Put this in the frame, put it up on my wall. Yeah. Like I said. Send me a thank you. Like I said, I didn't get the one the bubble is. I'll get that later. And of course,
here's the bubble at.
I got the Black Hole t-shirt. Official.
Ooh, that smells official.
Official. Yeah. Yeah, of course, I got the stickers and the hat pins.
Tell
Got
me
the
where the season tickets at though.
I got the old ad. That's coming next year after next year. I can't afford them this year,
Yeah.
but I will be getting those. There's a patch and the hat pins. Put one on my hat later on. I already started to open the box. I'm not going to try to do that now. So
Mhm.
that's official. I'm the Black Hole member.
Let's welcome Chris to the club.
Well,
To the
now it's your
Black
turn.
Hole.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the Bakersfield chapter because it's close to my house.
I'm gonna see what the East Bay, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if I
Oh,
get
they
there.
got a big one up there, so yeah, you should be good.
I mean, I really should come try to see if they got a San Francisco club because that's, I mean, you know, we here. I've been repping.
I can find out for you. Hold on a minute.
You know what I'm saying? I've been out here holding it down. You know what I mean? In the trenches, in Niner country, or whatever they call themselves.
Faithful Niners.
The gang bang land.
Yeah, Faithful Niners. Hold on a minute. I can show you right quick. Oh my God, come on.
Not the Diddy's oily old club. Not the Diddy. Never mind, I can't say that.
Oh, don't say that, please. we just started our channel, man.
That's right.
Let's not do that. Okay, come on. I had it here somewhere. Hold on a second, I'll find it. There we go. There we go. Chapters.
Yeah. San Francisco, Oakland, East Bay edition.
Let me share this real quick. I'm going to show you. There you go.
Nowhere.
See, there you go right there.
Hey, love the colors.
Actually, hold on. Let me change this.
Or just put me part of the California black hole. How about that?
Well, yeah, there's a chapters right there. So you got one in Lake County. I don't know where that's at.
Ooh.
There's yours, Richmond chapter.
Then you said Lake County. Dang.
I don't know where it's at. I've been North California, but I didn't pass there. So that's that. They got
If
the
you,
Richmond chapter.
oh yeah. In fact, worst case, I'm going to Lake County. This chapter, you know, just to make a foot in the door. But you know, preferably you're in this East Bay area.
Yeah, see, there's the Sacramento chapter. Yeah, so they got chapters in Santa Maria, Bakersfield. I'm going to Porterville, of course, L.A. Then they got one way down in Yuma, California, on the
And who?
Mexican Yuma. It's
Oh,
going to
you,
California Mexican border in
Yuma,
Arizona. It's right there.
my Yuma ninjas.
Yeah, so you can
Yuma,
join a chapter.
Yuma Raiders. I like
But
that.
anyway, yeah. So I'm official because remember I was in Bakersfield. I saw them black hole members. I'm like, geez, they have the black hole pass. I said, man, I'm joining those.
Yeah, they show love too. They was, you know, welcoming everybody and you know, showing love. So salute.
Yeah, the main man is Violator and Gorilla, and what's her name's in there. So you know, uh, yeah.
Damn.
So no, good.
Comeback. The comeback is coming.
So Jason, I have a big announcement for you guys. If you guys still listening, go ahead, Jason.
Oh, you said we have an
Tuesday.
announcement.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, Tuesday, definitely. We got something new for you guys, man. We got something. We have a collaboration with Chewy Sports, Chris Four Raiders, and me. We're covering all of California, locking each section down with the Cover 3 podcast. Coming new and improved, man. Coming to you Tuesday nights.
Yeah, it will start at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. This Tuesday, we hopefully be our opening show. But also remember that please go to 401 Jeff Raider at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. He has a special guest. He has a family of the young man named Devin, little Raider, who had the surgery in his heart. Make sure you guys will watch that for us. It should be an interesting show, a heartwarming show. Then right after he finishes airing his show, then we will start our show.
Yep, it's going down. And we will, we represent each from myself in Northern California. Chewy's holding down Central Cali. And then we got Chris Four Raiders holding down that South. That's Southern Cal.
Go Cal, the best Cal.
So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of different takes and, great things to come,
Yeah, make sure you tune in Tuesday. We'll be there.
Yep, I'm under contract, so I have to be there, but
don't want to get fined.
Yeah, I'm just there so I don't get fined. Yeah, Chris, what you got going?
Well, I wasn't doing my opening today, but see how long that took. So I'm glad I didn't do it. But I was on the show, so I opened it up. I'll probably wear my T-shirt. And thanks. Appreciate it, Chief. I got you locked into our rivalry channel. Yeah, nothing. Tuesday, Monday, I'm feeling good. I might just do a quick pull up, but nothing planned besides Tuesday night. Yeah. All right, I guess Beyond Man's in the building, so I guess.
He said, well, it's not. No, we So tonight, for the fellas, we have fellas night out tonight. We actually will make this episode. Chris, you can pull up too. Anybody can pull up too. We could probably make it an open mic night, if you will. But just anybody wants to talk about some stuff. It could be difficult stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's the place to talk about it.
What time's the show tonight?
Today I think we're talking about fear of marriage and things of that sort.
No, what time?
Oh, what time? I think it's 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
7 o'clock, huh?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Definitely pull up and show some love. It's the new launch. We're just kind of getting it cracking. We're just gonna feel it out for tonight, but definitely got some questions and comments and stuff like that. Definitely drop them in the chat. This one's not too Raider. It's always Raider related if we're on it, but this is more just kind of a safe place where everybody can talk. We're free place, man. We can just have a conversation. As guys, we don't get to talk about a lot of situations due to pride and all this kind of stuff, but if we don't talk about things, we never get better. You know what I'm saying? We never heal, we never learn. So that's what this is all for. I have an idea how I want this thing to go, but I don't want to put too much structure. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be as natural and as a safe, cool place for people to come where, just where we could talk, man. Like, I know they say guys don't talk and all this kind of stuff, but there's certain things that we definitely need to talk about. Like as men, I feel like we need to be men, stand up, be men. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that's kind of, where a lot of our male figures aren't being the men that we need them to be. And, it's just, if we're going to keep things real, we have to keep things real with ourselves. So coming on these platforms, speaking about real conversations and seeing, I'm not saying I'm right 100% of the time, but, let's prove it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. A lot of things that we need to talk about amongst ourselves. Because like you said, men don't talk. Women do all the talking for us. They that's who they are. But a lot of times, men, something they got want to say, got grievances, fear of marriage, yeah. a lot of things we can talk about. I'm gonna try my best to pull up. I don't know what's going on in the household. Never do, but you know.
And I'm not trying to end no one's marriage. I'm not. That's not the goal for here. Because it's always different perspectives. Because sometimes I think I'm always right. Sometimes she thinks she's always right. But sometimes you have to come in the middle. So to get to that point, you kind of got to hash it out. You got to kind of put some things in the air. It might be ugly sometimes. It might not be pretty. But at the end of the day, just trust the process. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So show Tuesday night. Make sure you guys watch our show. Make sure you watch Jeff's show on Tuesday. Other than that, 7 o'clock. Let's see if I can get into it. Thanks for the shout. Appreciate it, brother. Been a long time coming, but thanks.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jason, anything else?
Shout to our guest today, Chiefs Fan React. Thanks for coming on the show. We will have him on when we do our KC, maybe a lot of our rivalry games too. Like when we got the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers coming up, we could definitely invite him on and just, it'll be a lot more heated, a lot, as we're competing and stuff. But, definitely like we're in the off season right now, so we chilling until it's for real. So, shout for him to coming on. Appreciate him. You guys welcoming, him to the show, you guys being cool, being genuine, being real. So, appreciate y'all. And I'll see you guys tonight.
Hey, one thing, true. If you're still on the channel, come in. I'll text you the link. Come in. We need to talk to you about Tuesday's show. I know you had time Monday. So, true, if you're still on here, won't you come in? But we're gonna be off air. We're not gonna be live. So, if you're still there. Anyway. All right, let's end the show.
Let's do it, man. Thank y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all till the next time. And me and Chris, we don't miss.
Don't miss.
Hey.
Go Raiders.
All day.
It's the Sunday Morning Pillaging Show. Chris for Raiders.